This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text. The long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Good evening, everyone. It's Monday night, and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. I'm Paul Hipkiss, and tonight I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Road, Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody.
Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
All the way from the States, Mr. Mark Meredith.
Evening all.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome.
Chairman Alan Watton.
Good evening, everybody.
And last but by no means least, Chris Browne.
Good evening.
So I want to start the show really by sending on our condolences and love to the family of the gentleman that sadly lost his life at Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, there was a medical emergency, West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, and it was later announced that he'd sadly lost his life. So nobody should go to a football match and not come home. So very sad news were broke out on, was it announced on Saturday evening, or Sunday morning, wasn't it? So yeah, just want to start the show by sending on our love and condolences to that gentleman's family, and obviously big West Brom fan, goes home and away, I believe, as well. So yeah, very sad news, and obviously from a fellow West Midlands club, we send on our love and condolences as well. So 6 wins on the trot for the first time for Blues since 1985, and we showed resilience. We showed what we were made of in that second half, and for me, I think it was so important to score before half time and make it 2-1. But we'll pick the bones out of that in a minute, and I'll come on to everyone. But I want to ask everyone now. I've opened the last few shows with a question to everyone. When was the last time in 1985? I know it was obviously in 1985, but can anyone remember anything about the last time we won 6 games on the trot? Who we played? Who was the manager? Who played for us? Any of the scores, results? Claire shrugging her shoulders.
I suppose now I was twinkling the star.
Never know, Claire. You might do research and look at stuff from before you was born.
I mean, Mark Adams, you were 40 at the time, so you should remember a few.
I remember. I was 9. Yeah, I remember going.
Yeah, I was 6.
I remember going to a few games that season. To be fair, I know I think we played Oxford that season. We won 3-1. I remember that one. That was near the start of the season. But yeah, I think David Seaman was my first sort of favourite player, simply because I had to wear a green jumper for school. And he was a goalie.
So was he in goal then? When the last time we won?
Seaman was, yeah. I went to Woodhouse Juniors in Quinton, and we had the green and yellow. Anyway, that's a different subject. Anyway, yeah, but I don't remember. I remember the Altrincham game in the cup. I think it was at 85, 86. I remember going into school the next day, and my class was all them lot up the road in Albion, and the amount of grief, even as a 9-year-old, I got, it was just embarrassing. But yeah, apart from that, it's a bit hazy in my memory. Yeah. I think that's the last time I had any friends, to be honest.
When was the last time you were out of prison, Mark? I mean, that's I suppose that's the main question.
In 85 I was on licence. We're looking at 84.
Yeah, but no. But coming on to obviously Saturday's game, I mean,
you got problems with the streams, guy. Stream guy.
Is the stream gone?
The stream. I think the stream's gone, so I might just have to restart. But just hold on.
We've got to sell that again.
Yeah, just hold on for a second. I'll try and I don't know if the.
Quick, Claire, look at 1985, so you can pretend like you know.
I know, yeah. I feel like I'm. Hey.
It's another Monday, and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. Started again. Let's go.
Weeks gone by, and we've beaten Charlton.
We've got the season unbeaten, and Claire knew exactly what she was talking about. Anthony Lloyd, where's my ticket?
No.
He was messaging me Saturday night. He was.
Shame.
I didn't mean what I said on the message.
What did you say, Mark?
Nothing.
If we go throughout the season undefeated, we will beat Arsenal's record of 49 games. It'll be the last game will be the 50th since we last lost.
Well, Anthony Lloyd told me to pass on a message that we're all unrealistic.
I think we might be streaming now. If we are, please let us know. I think we are. I think we're okay.
Yeah. Are we live again?
Yeah, we're live. I just got to sort out the YouTube one, but carry on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. I'm Paul Hipkiss, and tonight I'm joined by the chairman. I'm only joking. I think everyone heard that first time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming on to Saturday's game, then I'll start with you, Alan. Obviously, it was nice to see you before the game, mate. I mean, it was just obviously a horrendous start. For me, all this obsession with playing out from the back and, you know, the goalkeeper having to touch the ball first and not just put his foot through it and get it up the bloody pitch, you know, it drives me mad. And ultimately, we were the victims of that mistake, weren't we? Again, obviously, it's cost us another goal. So is it time for the change? That's another question to everyone. Is it time now to change the goalkeeper, or do we stick with him?
Well, I'd just say to that, we're playing this system. All we need is 11 players who are competent enough to play that system. And if there's somebody in the team that isn't competent at playing it, then you've changed you and put somebody in who is. I mean, it's not a case of, you know, I think this bloke's rubbish and blah 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 blah.
No.
He's got a fault, and it keeps costing us goals. Now, again, Saturday, I sat there, even when the second one in, I was more annoyed about the second goal because it was bloke had a free header. I mean, I know he was 6'9" or whatever it was. I mean, if we don't buy him at Christmas, then I don't want to know why. He's bloody great. Anyway, that annoyed me more because, you know, we're all moaning about the goalkeeper, and there was 10 other players that didn't do their jobs for that one.
Yeah.
But again, once that went in and we started playing, I was never worried that we weren't. I certainly wasn't worried that we were going to lose. I thought we got it in, you know, we got it nearly a whole game to get 2 goals back, which we did quite comfortably, and then we stuck the third one in.
Yeah,
and never, you know. They had a little bit of a go for 10 minutes, perhaps after that, without. I mean, ironically, we're all moaning about goalkeeper, or some of us are, and the bloke actually only had one save to make all through the game.
Yeah.
Which he did very well. Ironically, though, he gave away a corner and they scored from it. You can't blame the goalkeeper for that.
I don't think it's just down to that one mistake on Saturday. It's obviously a combination of errors.
Yeah, of course, yes, of course.
And, I mean, we've let 8 goals in this season, and you know, unfortunately, 4 of them were probably down to him, weren't they? You know, but we don't want to keep singling him out. You know, anybody can make a mistake, but how many more times can it happen before he is replaced with Allsop? You know. But yeah, for me, I think it was so important, like I just said, to get that Williamson goal back to 2-1 before half time. And Claire, you know, they come out. I think the subs at half time made all the difference, didn't they? Because we were so much better, in my opinion, without. And this is not, again, criticism of Dykes, but I just preferred the way we played without Dykes in the team. We were much quicker and more free-flowing, weren't we, going forward? And I thought Scott Wright did really well when he came on, didn't he? He was getting at them. And Anderson.
Yeah, I think it was crying out for a bit of pace. It was crying out for a bit of creativity. I just think with Dykes, we seem to change our play, where we do try and hoof it up a bit more, which is just not us anymore. And it was so obvious that he wasn't winning anything in the air. I don't know why we just don't keep to our own system, playing our own way. I don't know why we have to try and adjust, because, for example, their second goal, he had a free header anyway, so somebody was doing their job. Yeah. And I think the fact that he changed it at half-time so drastically was brilliant. I don't think Williamson is a winger at all. I think the best position is behind the striker. I thought his goal was class, and I thought he was brilliant again.
Yeah.
I think Wright had his best game for us. He played a little bit more inside. He wasn't as wide, which then obviously they had counter-attacks. But even when we went 2-0 down, I didn't really hear anybody kind of moan. It kind of felt like we were just, okay, we're gone 2-0 down, we're still going to win this.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever really been at the Blues where we've gone 1 or 2-0 down and we're like, oh, it's okay, then we're going to win anyway. But I thought the goals were good. It's nice to see a score from a corner and set piece. But I do agree, I think there's been a few times the goalkeeper's made a mistake, and even at international duty, it seems to be like he kind of waits for it to come and he's waiting to then pass it on, while actually you kind of got to step into it and let it go quicker. But then I don't think we need to jeer him or congratulate him when he does kick the ball forward. So I think Allsop does need a chance. He played championship football last season, and I think that I don't know when he would get another opportunity, but then will Peacock Farrell's confidence absolutely crash? Because you could just tell his confidence just went. So, but I mean, I'm happy for the win, and I thought Peterborough were a really good side, and they did to us what we've been doing to others, so fair play to them.
They did indeed, yeah. They gave us many problems to think about, didn't they? Certainly in the first half. But second half, I don't think the goalkeeper even had anything to do at all, did he really? Mainly. But yeah, I think for me tomorrow, I'd like to see Alfie May back in the team. I believe he's been on well, hasn't he? Which is why he's been out the team.
Morris, apparently. Yeah.
Hopefully he's well enough for us to get his place back tomorrow, because the thought of him and Jay together, you know, if that clicks, which I think he can and he will. I mean, they played really well together against Wrexham, didn't they? Then they could be deadly. They could be getting like 25 goals each, potentially. You know, you just never know. Especially if we can keep the likes of Williams. I nearly said Williamson then, Mark. Williamson around them. You know, quality players like that. But yeah, Mark Meredith, give us your thoughts, mate. Second half, you know, we just kicked on, didn't we? We played the high line and put them under loads of pressure.
Yeah, listen, I echo the thoughts of the others. I thought, you know, it's a goalkeeper's mistake for the first one. We switch off defensively for the second. I did have a moment in there that I thought that might be our first loss, honestly. But I think, you know, Williamson's goal was the difference and the change in the game. I think we went into half time then a little bit more confident. And you know, fair play to Davis. He made some brave changes, and he changed it up a little bit with different players and different ideas. And you know, we got a little bit of luck second half. I thought, you know, we got the own goal, which I don't think it's going in from Stansfield. And then if you watch Bellix, he's at the right place at the right time, but I think he hits his shoulder and goes in as well. So we'll definitely take them. And you know, at the end of it, it's a great comeback and probably worthy of another win through the play after, obviously, after their second goal. I think we really got back into the game. But yeah, it's funny because I was thinking about it, and I'm not trying to put us into Manchester City's league at all, but it was one of those games where when City go 2-0 down at home, you just feel that they're going to still get back and at least draw the game, if not win it. Yeah. And like I said, in that 10-minute period, I didn't have that feeling. But after that, when we started to get into it again, you know, I really thought that we could go on and win the game. I was surprised he took Hansen off to start with. And when he first took him off, because I thought Hansen had a good first half. But, you know, Anderson came on and did a good job, and I thought second half there was only going to be obviously one winner. On the goalkeeping one, I'd change it now while you can. There's a reason there now to give it a change and give Allsop a chance. You know, from what I'm hearing from a couple of friends of mine is that, you know, they see Allsop as a better player with his feet, and then Peacock Farrell a little bit better shot stopper, but. You know, with 70 to 75% of the possession each game and using the goalkeeper as much as we do to play, I think you've got to have the person that's better with his feet than you have, you know, the shot stopper, I suppose, right now. So give him a chance and see how it goes. He's a Blues fan as well, so he's going to be up for whatever he can do when he comes into the team.
Yeah. Is there anyone here that wouldn't change the goalkeeper tomorrow night and stick with Peacock Farrell? Because I personally think it might do him good to come out the limelight for a few games. You know, we did it with Lee Camp, didn't we, with Truman a few years ago? And when Lee Camp came back in the team, he was much better than what he was before Truman. Been good. It's not doesn't mean we'll never see him again. He just might need to go and regroup and take a deep breath and go again for a few games. You know what I mean?
The thing I liked was the fact that the fans, whilst racked off over the mistake that was there, they didn't turn against him as much as what could have happened. There was inklings at times, but nobody really turned to the point that I think he was made to feel uncomfortable. In fact, the opposite way round, in a sarcastic way, when he was clearing the ball, the cheers were great, but actually I think that gave him a little bit of confidence because there was a definite difference in him in the second half. Now, whether that was a rocket up the backside at half time or just one of those word in the shell type from Mike Taylor, which is what I really think was probably the case. But I agree. I think time for Allsop to get a start. However, my only worry is we've got a static and a steady defence. With another goalkeeper behind them, is how much do they practice with Allsop, to see if that balance will continue. And that's my only concern regarding it. I think you're right, Paul. It does need to be taken out of the limelight. Whether that's now or actually whether they wait to the international break and then perhaps change it, that may be the question that Davies is pondering.
I think from what Chris Davies has showed us so far, whatever decision he does make tomorrow night, I'll back, And if Peacock Farrell, I can't speak tonight. If Peacock Farrell is in goal, then, I'll back him 100%. I won't look at the team sheet and go, oh, God, he's still in goal. It's not that bad.
No.
Even though it was a howler on Saturday, and the one against Wigan was a howler, we just we get behind him, don't we? He's got our colours on at the end of the day. He's got our shirts on, so you have to get behind him. But yeah, Robe.
Yeah.
Did you stay? I believe you stayed a while, didn't you, after the game on Saturday? What was that all about?
No, I was only joking. I said I'll stay till midnight to let the crowd get down. I mean, I
in the place.
Craig, people from the club are watching this. Do you want me banned?
He was robbing the place. He was robbing the place. You know, right, Mr. Meredith?
Definitely robbing it.
Anyway, back to the game. I
that guy who fell asleep in the toilets a few years ago.
Yeah,
I took his wallet.
I'm sorry, Craig. Carry on.
No, sorry. I mean, I think we're unanimous in saying that we need to change a keeper. I think Allsop needs his chance now. Like I say, I mean, again, on social media, there's some people saying, "Oh, we needed to go out and buy a new goalie," and we don't need a new goalie at all. He's competent at this level. But I mean, game-wise, Williamson had his best game for the club. I think Paik was again excellent. Nobody really played badly. I must admit, the first 20 minutes, I thought, "Oh no, this is the Blues of old." But it's like Claire said earlier, you just, even though you think that, you think, well, actually, we're going to be all right. We will score. It's just a question of when and how many. So we've sort of played the teams around us now.
Yeah.
And the teams are going to be up there. And we haven't, who's going to worry us, really? I know it's early in the season, but I can't say anything but promotion.
No, me neither. No, me neither at all.
I really can't. I think we'll be be champions, because I just cannot see, when we're on form, who can touch us. I mean, I don't like talking like this early in the season, but it's just the whole vibe of the club at the minute. We're just getting better and better, and you look forward more and more to every game. I cannot see many losses at all, if any.
The thing is, when you're in goal, if you make a mistake, it's a goal, and it bailing him out, winning the games that he's making the mistakes in, which is all well and good. But if we hadn't won on Saturday, I'd have been criticising Dykes just as much for missing that header as well, because he should have put that.
He should have put it away, Paul. He should have put it either side, not straight down the middle like that. I mean, it's a good save by the keeper. But looking at it again, he should have had the experience to place it either side of him. He put it straight down the middle.
When you watch it back, though, it's actually the defender that clears it off the line. The keeper doesn't touch it, heads it straight.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's early days for Dykes, but yeah, he didn't bring a lot to the table on Saturday, to be fair.
Mark, what do you think? Do you think that he gives us more than Jukovic? Because I don't.
Who, Dykes?
Yeah. I'd rather have Jukovic in there for 20 minutes.
For what I've seen so far, Claire, I don't see
how he's
bang average. I don't see him
out there. I don't know whether anyone else agrees, but there's people around me and some of my mates are like, I'd rather have Jukovic. At least he gives you a bit more presence and a bit more fight up there.
Reminded me of Dykes, and this isn't a compliment. He reminded me of Gary O'Connor a little bit.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And I
Yeah.
Still got PTSD from that, to be honest.
I just noticed this afternoon the reserves played and lost, but the goalkeeper wasn't. What was his name? Mayo. It wasn't him. It was O'Sullivan, and I'm thinking, was Mayo being kept back to sit on the bench tomorrow? It might have meant something or nothing, but it's strange that they don't play very often, the under 21s, and to have your third goalkeeper not playing, what was the reason for that? And would he put Allsop in and put Mayo on the bench and get? I mean, because if you pick Peacock, Parker Bowles as I call him, if you put him on the bench and a goalkeeper gets sent off in the first 5 minutes, what have you gained? You haven't took the kid out of the firing line and say, right, take the missus out to dinner tonight, just forget about football, and have the third goalkeeper sitting on the bench. I'm going conspiracy theories here. As I say, it could be nothing, but I did notice that, and I thought that's a bit strange. Is there something brewing here? But anyway, Sanderson played.
It'd be a strange one if he did, Al.
Pardon?
I think it'd be a strange one if he did.
He's not going to change a lot because he's not on the bench tomorrow. And I think that's going to be where I think we see what this team's about, because at the moment, all you do is see him shouting at he's running after every ball, he's shouting for it, everything on the sidelines, Davis. He can't be on the sideline tomorrow. So it'll be like, where do they get that encouragement and that oomph from? Can they get it within themselves tomorrow? Because I would love to see who, like the assistant manager, doing similar, to be honest.
No, I think for me, we want to focus on the good from Saturday now a bit more. Second half for me, I was well impressed. The goals we scored, the build-up play to the goals we scored were brilliant, weren't they?
Superb.
Especially the first two. And okay, we had a bit of good fortune with the deflected shot from Stansfield, but we deserved it, didn't we? After that move, it's just brilliant.
That was far better than
attitude. It's not going anywhere. If anything, it's getting stronger.
Yeah.
And the thing for me is they stand out. After it seems to be for the first 20 minutes, it's almost like somebody's winding up the little mouse, right? And it's getting to that full amount of tension, and then they let it go, and boom, it's going on running around like an absolute madman. And that's how it feels to me at the moment. It takes them 20 to 25 minutes to get into a game, but after that, you can't stop them, and it's actually a role reversal of what we've seen in the past, because we actually conceded the majority of our goals in the second half of games, especially towards the end across the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Now we're scoring rather than conceding. Don't look as though they're getting anywhere near. I mean, again, to see over 70% possession in a game is just ridiculous, considering after 20 minutes we were 2 down. And actually, well, we looked down and out at one particular point. I was actually waiting for a third. That to me was how it felt for that 20 minutes. But whatever was said at half time, and whether that be the manager, whether that be the captain, or whoever it was in the dressing room, what a difference. Polar opposite. And nobody. And in fact, I had a message off the guy from Peterborough that I did the away-in with to say, did that same team come out in the second half? Because it looks as though you'd swapped your complete 11. And then that's what it felt like. It was like players suddenly appeared that hadn't been in the game at all. But we've got to start faster. That's the one thing. We need to get into it, not concede these really silly goals. And then you start getting behind that, and then that's where the teams themselves are going to start getting even more frustrated and start getting the spanking. But also, we've come up against a team that's better than Peterborough, and actually we're going to be in trouble, because if we'd have gone 2-0 down against like Wrexham, for example, couldn't see us coming back in that position. But let's just see. I mean, let's put it this way. Huddersfield fans are holding out no hope whatsoever tomorrow night.
They're only bringing a few. They're only bringing a few.
About 600.
600, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're without key players. I think they're without 3 key players. What I'd like to see tomorrow night, I'd love to see Alfie May start. I don't think we will, but I'd love to see him start because I think he'll turn it on against the team he nearly signed for. And we'll see him score again.
Thing is, for me though, Craig, he's the division's top goal scorer for the last 3 seasons. He needs to start. You know, if he's 100% fit, there's no way he doesn't start. Surely.
Yeah.
But you can't. The problem is, I think buying Jay Stansfield, you can't drop him.
No.
So it's do you like you've got to be able to fit Alfie May in. You're not going to play him as a right winger. Do you move Jay because he's now on form? Do you play him in behind of Av Williamson? I would personally just literally swap Dykes and May.
Yeah, and I would 100%.
Because he plays literally a 6-yard box, within the 18-yard box, but literally down the middle. And the ball's coming across from Stansfield and everybody going between the defence and the goalkeeper. They were outstanding crosses. And literally, if Alfie May was there, he would have probably scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Got nobody there.
Yeah, I'm going to ask everyone and our viewers who everyone's man of the match was on Saturday in a minute. But I'm going to start us off by making a special mention for Taylor Gardner-Hickman because I think he's outstanding at right back. He really is.
Yeah.
He's big, he's strong, he's got pace, he can cross a ball, he can tackle. You know, he's a really good, competent player, isn't he? Really, really good in that position, and he's covered for Ethan Laird really well that I think he's going to have a job getting back in. What do we all think?
Yeah, he's fought that hard. You know, Laird to me, when he comes back, has got to show something extra special to get anywhere near that position to start off with. But I agree, Paul. I thought he was absolutely immense at the weekend. And not once when he was on the ball or even chasing back did you think to yourself, actually, do you know what? He's not comfortable in this position. In fact, he looks too comfortable at times. But I love the way he breaks the play up, gets the ball forward. And, you know, another player, actually, who came off the bench that I thought was outstanding when he came on was right. You know, I thought he was absolutely immense when he came onto the pitch. And
he changed the game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's bombed through the middle not long after he came on. You know, was deserving of a goal. But it was just his runs off the ball. They created the space for people to get the opportunities. And we'll come on to man of the match, but I've got to say, I find it really hard to single out one person from Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's and we're getting this every week. It's hard to pick one because you wouldn't argue if anyone said anyone really, apart from maybe Peacock Farrell. You wouldn't argue, would you? Because everybody had a good game again. We got solid performers. But for me, I just have to pick Gardner-Hickman on Saturday. For me, I just think he just about edged it. I thought he was brilliant on Saturday. But again, Williamson was. You know, if someone said, "Oh no, it was Williamson," I wouldn't argue. You know what I mean? But you know, I just think Gardner-Hickman, he's probably again gone a little bit unnoticed. You know, since he's come in the team and gone about his business quietly, but he's done it very effectively, hasn't he?
Interestingly, sponsors player of the match was Cochrane, who he was also outstanding. I mean, I've got to say, if I've got to choose one, Williamson for me, because I thought. First of all, his goal was really, really well taken. When you see his run, and I didn't notice it until I saw the highlights, but his run to start off with helped set that up, and then he through the middle. Nobody was touching him. He was, he was just ghosting into that box area for that goal. But his work rate, my God, for a big bloke, his work rate's phenomenal, and his touch as well. You know, he really does. His ball sticks to his feet. It's like he's got glue on his boots. So Williamson for me.
I love watching him play. He's absolutely brilliant. You know, I think I said like after last season, you know, after relegation and all that we need to get some players that are going to get bums on seats. You know, put a spring in your step to go down there and want to watch them. And my God, have we got some now? Stansfield, May, Williamson. You know, all these players that we got now. Cochrane. You know, Clara, Gardner-Hickman, Paik, Iwata. You know, they roll off the tongue now, don't they? One after the other. It's
brilliant.
I tell you something that I noticed on Saturday, Paul, and remember a few weeks ago we were talking about leaders and we never had any. And my opinion was, well, you never get leaders of bad teams, but
No.
when you got a good team, then leaders emerge.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Iwata as that leader.
Mm.
Because when we were 2-0 down, he was doing the pointing. He was doing this, you go there, do this, give me the ball, you blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he didn't have an awful lot of the ball. But when he did, this is mine. Nobody's getting off me. And I'm going to do something. And it was just a little bit of about 10 or 15 minutes when he started waving his hand and pointing to people and so on. I wouldn't say that was enough to give him man of the match, but why not? It's very difficult to pick one out.
Yeah.
Tyler Hickman, wouldn't argue with that. He spent a lot of the first half in front of me, beating people, bringing down balls that were not that good to him, bringing them down on his chest, on his head, and whatever, keeping the ball in play and continuing. He was tremendous. It was tremendous.
Yeah. We'll come on to the shape box in a minute, if that's okay, Chris. But I just want to quickly go around the room and, ask who everyone's man of the match was. Then I've already said Gardner Hickman, so let's go around. Chris, who was your man of the match?
Yeah, I was going to go for Gardner Hickman as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Adams, Robe.
I'm gonna go for Williamson.
Okay.
I'm really impressed with him.
You always like to be different. Mark Meredith.
I'm going with Robe for the first time in my life.
What?
Yay!
And I might change my mind in a minute. I was hoping you came to me first, not him. But...
Made me sound like ET.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah.
I've got to say, as much as this really hurts me, I agree with Mark Meredith on this one. But no, Williamson for me was just an absolute workhorse. And you mentioned the shape box. Do you know, it's not very often that I look at these comments and think, who's the standout player? Because there's been so many names put forward on here. So Williamson has come up a couple of times. Cochrane, Gardner Hickman, from Dom Kavanagh. Ray Albro said Thor was man of the match. He seemed to be involved in anything and everything.
Yeah.
Nigel Mann. It's a great show for Nigel Mann. Bielik. He is the silent player that's coming through. So his vote went for him. Daniel Ruin, he said, actually, it's that hard to pick a man of the match that he's just going to say the fans were.
Yeah.
And actually, there's one thing to say. Actually, the fans were amazing on Saturday. Even at 2-0 down, there was that sense that if we got one, we'd go on and win the game. And it certainly came true. Dave Twine finally has said, could not pick a man of the match, but right when he came on was fast and deadly. An evening to our actor friend, Richard Haler.
Good evening, Richard Taylor, all the way from Miami. For me, I think the keep right on again was special before kickoff. I thought that went really well as well again. Not quite. I mean, it's not the same as Under the Lights, is it? It's always different under the lights. It'll be different tomorrow night. But it was actually fantastic. At last, they brought back Tom Ross and Ian Danter singing
Singing the blues, definitely.
I was singing.
Listen to you.
Yeah, I was standing there smiling like a Cheshire cat. It was great to hear it. Is it me though? And I don't want to sound like a miserable old git, but is the music getting louder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Miserable old git.
Old.
Getting louder, isn't it, Claire?
The music's getting louder, but the interviews are quieter.
Hey? What happens is somebody goes round, they play it, and then somebody stands. There's people at each point, and then they go, "Yeah, that's loud enough."
Oh,
so
really?
but it gets tested every go.
Oh wow!
So you can't moan. I actually was able to hear everything. It was great at the top of the Tilton.
But the chairman can't hear next to him.
I couldn't hear the bloke standing next to me.
My daughter said something to me as well, and I couldn't hear what she was saying.
The DJ's supposed to be loud. That's what a DJ's supposed to do. It's supposed to get people up. Like when they played the Waka Waka, the bloke behind me when you're rapping, I said, "Yeah, it's Jay Stansfield's song, so I'd sing it to him."
That was brilliant as well. Out with Tilton, when he got that, And I will say, for me, it was his goal because it was a strike which was on target. So it'll probably go to the dubious panel as they always do, but hopefully they give it him. But the song afterwards was just superb, and then when that gets around the whole of the stadium, it's going to be immense, absolutely immense.
Yeah, no, it's certainly good times, and it's great to be going back down and feeling like this has been a long time since we've had this feeling. We've probably never had this feeling before, have we? Really, as a club as a whole. But on a match day now, it's it's reminding me of the old Premier League, that first season back up in the Premier League, even though we're 2 divisions lower.
Thing is, though, Paul, you're sort of buzzing for the next. Even say you got 5-6 days to the next game, you're absolutely buzzing.
Yeah,
you just can't wait for the games to come round.
As I said to Paul on Saturday when I saw him, get ready to be called a glory hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it? I said that to you, didn't I, Alan? That the opposition fans will be singing to us, "Where were you when you were?"
I was there.
I'll be thinking I was sat right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
On Twitter, they already hate us now.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's great. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Isn't it great to think to yourself, you know what I mean? It's like, I guess you can call us whatever you want, and we love the fact that you hate us. It's superb.
You know what City fans feel like now? They don't care.
It makes me laugh, Man United fans moaning, you know what I mean?
Oh, God, yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious, you know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah.
They think they've got a hard time of it at the moment. My God,
Most of them with the Irish and London accents.
Yeah, exactly.
And those Birmingham fans that live in Coventry, I hate them.
Hey.
Yeah.
Don't know what you mean.
No such thing.
I've given people a bit of time to think now. So can anyone tell me anything about the last time we went 6 games unbeaten in 1985? Chris and Alan, can you help me out here?
1985?
Yeah.
I think I was still living on the beach in the south of France then. So
I was not unbeaten, sorry. 6 games, 1 on the trot, sorry. Yeah. 6 games. The last time we won 6 games on the trot was 1985.
Paul, remind me, what division were we in? And who was... Name some of the players or the manager.
That's what I'm asking you.
Seaman in goal. You had Seaman, Ray Ransom, Billy White.
Wasn't Broads playing then?
No, he'd finished by then, I think.
Sorry,
I'm acting like I'm
Google
about 7. Hey? The likes of Stuart Storer up front.
Was Oppie playing for us?
Oppie, yeah, he scored the own goal against Altrincham.
He's got Google there, hasn't he?
No,
Google open.
Martin Cool. I think it's a couple of years before Wigley.
Did he have his gang with him?
Huh?
Did he have a gang with him?
No. Not Cool and the gang. God.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just...
Well done.
I'll be honest, I just Googled it.
I think we can safely say we've got no idea, can't we?
Yeah, we go.
Hey, Paul, I Googled it, so I can tell you if you want me to tell you.
Yeah, go on then.
Go for it.
It was we started on the 8th of April. Sheffield United at home, beat them. Then we beat Portsmouth away. Crystal Palace at home. Yes, 4-1, Chairman. Yeah. Charlton at home, Barnsley away, and then Cardiff at home. They were the 6th. And then we drew against Middlesbrough, and then we won it at home to Leeds last game of the season. So we was unbeaten in 8, won 7 of them.
Wow.
So we won 7 on the trot then, yeah?
No, 6 on the trot, and then we drew 1 and then won 1.
Oh,
so if we win tomorrow night, then it's the first time we've won 7 games on the trot since when?
Oh.
Know that?
Someone said it was 18.
Well, pleased to come out and say it on X.
Probably never.
Probably when we won the league the first year of the 2nd division.
We'll probably all split French then.
Okay.
Can you imagine though how nice it would be, the final home game of the season, if they give us the trophy? If we win it before the end of the season.
I want to get March so we can concentrate on the FA Cup.
So Alan, now you remember those games now? You did say the 4-1 was right. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't see the Leeds game. I was playing cricket that day. But I certainly remember the 4-1 against Sheffield United when certainly Wayne Clark got a couple because it was absolutely sheeting it down. And we played basically back to front the whole of the game. You couldn't pass it; it was too soggy, and we murdered them. I think we beat Crystal Palace 4-1 as well. Is that right?
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a few that are talking about the record, which Andy Browne has said that our record is actually 13 wins on bounce.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
No.
So that'll be interesting if that is the case.
That was in 1875. I'm joking.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So Richard Notwell just said, would you play May and rest Stano tomorrow? No, I wouldn't, mate. I'd play them both.
Yeah.
I would rest them against Shrewsbury the week after.
Oh, yeah. In the cup.
Mm.
In the Bristol Street Motors, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely give him a rest then.
Yeah, maybe give Djukovic a run in that, or Dykes, or both of them, or whatever. Yeah. Are we bothered about winning that? Do we want to win?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to. It's a realistic route to Wembley, and I'd like to mix it up in the early rounds, to get through. But the closer we get to Wembley, I'd like to take it seriously.
We don't want to get too complacent if we are bothered about winning it by dropping all of our best players. Then, do we?
Yeah.
So
we've got to win the last 2 games to qualify. You can't mess around.
Top 2 go through, don't they?
Yeah.
Dave Twine says the year 1900, we went 15 wins, then 1 loss, then 13 wins. Wow.
Wow.
Do you reckon anyone was still moaning about anything?
The pies.
Has anyone seen that? What are we going to have there? Who played there?
Alan was moaning about the main stand.
He was there.
Pies had gone up to half a penny.
Alan was there. Kids for a shilling.
I've heard that they're going to do some work on the main stand. Yeah, they're going to put a plug in the sink.
Yeah. Lisa Field, my 12-year-old, loves going to the Blues even more now and loves the atmosphere. Now they are full houses. He's never seen the ground full before we got into League One, and that goes for my daughter as well. Lisa, that was her first experience of a full house on an evening game against Wrexham. She had experienced it last season against Coventry, but yeah, I mean, that evening game against Wrexham was amazing, wasn't it? And the atmosphere just goes up a few notches, doesn't it, for the night games? And yeah, hopefully we'll get. Are we looking like selling out tomorrow again?
I don't know.
I think
they've opened the Gilmed up because of the demand. So
and Block 4 and 5 are going to be open, aren't they, as well? And
yeah. Not many away fans. I think we touched upon that earlier. There's less than 1,000, isn't it? 600, we said.
Yeah, about 600.
Now we've got a few other things lined up tonight, haven't we, Chris? A bit different, I believe. So we should have a Who at some point, and then also got another new thing. Have we got that lined up, Chris? What I suggested?
I have. Yeah, it might be too easy, this one. It's just a teaser one, but you tell me when you're ready if you want to go for it.
You want to do that first, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So how many you got? 1 or 2?
I've only got the one up for today. Just
okay. So what we're going to do, Chris, you're going to put a shirt on the screen now for you all to see, all our viewers and anyone that's obviously on the panel that can see the stream. And we want you to tell us the name of the sponsor that was on the shirt at the time and the manufacturer of the kit, please. So tell us the name of the sponsor and who made the kit.
Okay, I'm going to do it very, very quickly. Okay, so here we go. Stand by your beds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your lot. Anybody in our panel have time to see that?
I know that one. I've had that top.
Okay.
I didn't even see it.
Ah.
I can't see it.
That was nice and easy. That was just a starter. That was.
Yeah, starter one. I've got some hard ones lined up for next week. Yeah, so
they're hard if you can't see them.
Oh, yeah. Taylor's close.
Oh, Fraser Higgins has said phones for you. No, Fraser, it's not phones for you.
No.
Pete Taylor. Pete Taylor's got the money. Yeah, Lecoq Sportif is correct, but nobody's got the sponsor yet.
I have.
Have they?
Yeah. Yeah, I've just seen it come up there, and
might be
Stephen Cale, Auto Windscreens.
Yeah, Auto Windscreens. That one. I think I wore that top when I did penalties at Villa Park in my blue shirt. I'm trying to find the picture.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I don't remember. I haven't seen the shirt yet.
Stephen Cale's correct with Auto Windscreens, but he's put Lecoq Sportif, which because the double get to the queue, isn't it?
Was it the blue? Was it the blue one?
Blue one.
Yeah.
You remember that season they had like the white with the grey? That was the away shirt that season, wasn't it? The white with like the grey stripe.
Yeah.
It was a great, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, that was grey, not silver, Mark.
Sorry, yeah, maybe silver.
And then also, just to add a bit more spice, tell us the first player you think of when you see that shirt as well, or think about that shirt. Who's the first player that comes to mind from the time?
Mark Birchall.
Yeah.
Do you remember him on loan?
He did all right.
Yeah.
He did.
Great player he was.
Yeah.
I was gutted we didn't sign him.
I think
we signed the midfielder, didn't we? Instead, his name. The one that became a boxer in the end.
Curtis Woodhouse.
Oh, Curtis Woodhouse. Yeah.
Birchall scored at Spurs, didn't he, in the cup?
Yeah.
On the way to Cardiff, yeah.
Yeah, we wore the yellow jersey. We wore the yellow shirt that time, didn't we? The windscreen yellow shirt when Adebola scored as well.
Yeah,
yeah. He was unplayable that night, Daly, wasn't he?
Unbelievable,
But yeah, no, for me, I think Stan Lazaridis, favourite player in that shirt. He was just brilliant.
Legend.
I loved him. Yeah. So if we like that, we're going to do that every week, aren't we, Chris? We're going to have a home and away from now on as well. And
seem to have lost Craig. I don't know what's happened to him.
His laptop keeps booting out.
We'll try and make it harder, obviously, as we go along as well. And then we also have a Who lined up as well, Chris, I believe.
We've got a Who lined up. You tell me when you want that to come on.
We might as well have a little game section, mightn't we? And do both at the same time. So far away. So we want to know now who this ex-guest is talking.
I'm going to do it very quick. Right, so here we go.
People had us as favourites to go to the semi-final.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight away.
Well done. Anybody else on the panel now?
Just to reiterate that we don't know, by the way, before Chris has pressed play.
Can you play?
I'm gonna have a guess if I can once everyone's done.
Oh, we are.
Okay.
King's got it on YouTube.
Let's have a look. All right.
Can you do it again?
Somebody on YouTube has got it. Yeah.
Somebody on YouTube has got it. But for those on Facebook, let's go again.
No, they're in the right ballpark.
It's not Mark Ward. It's not Gary Ablett.
Oh, can I have a guess?
No.
Let's let the viewers on Facebook.
Let's let the viewers have a go. Then and then I'll nick their answers.
You're pressing play again.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to press it. Here we go.
People had us as favourites to go to the semi-final.
Yes, I do know it now.
Go on then, Al.
Brian,
what's a player?
Well done.
Hey, look at my chat. Look at the chat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Craig, didn't hear any of that, did you, Craig?
I did. I was listening on my phone. And yes, you're right. What an absolute legend of a player. Yeah,
absolutely fantastic player. And some cracking players, didn't he, Trevor? When you think about it, you know, Stan Lazaridis, Peter Unlove. I love Peter Unlove. I did as well. Paul Furlong.
Mind you, talking about Hughesy, I thought he would have come out at half time against Wrexham. To be honest, forget Beckham and all that. I just wanted Hughes to come out.
There's a history, though, isn't there? There's a history between them. That's, as a player, he was absolutely phenomenal. But then when he went back to do I think he was a little bit of managing with them, didn't go down too well. So I remember actually asking the guy from Wrexham when I was chatting to him, and he said the fans loved him as a player, but as a manager, he just lost the respect, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, he was a fantastic player.
You remember his volley he scored against us in the FA Cup? The week before we bought him. It was a great finish, that.
Yeah.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Yeah.
Well, no, Steve Bruce scored his first goal for Blues that day, didn't he? We lost 3.
Yeah, no, Hughes' goal was a header mark. It was a header at the
it was Bruce that scored the volley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Our goal.
Yeah.
But he scored many great volleys for us, though. But his best goal for us, Brian Hughes, would have been against Ipswich, but Furlong tapped it in. Do you remember when he turned into...
he nipped it, yeah.
They go Maradona ran all the way from like the halfway line, and he went past about 4 players. And I think it did need tapping in, though, didn't it? He put it across the goal. I think their defender would have cleared it if Furlong hadn't put it in the net.
You know, it was crazy. He scored one just like Bergkamp's at Newcastle. Wow. Bergkamp scored against Newcastle. Hughes scored one for Blues when he did that little flick around the defender.
Oh, against Watford?
Never really talked about it again for us, was it?
No.
All over the TV.
That was just after the cup final on the Friday night.
Yeah, I loved his goal against Millwall as well in the playoffs. The one when Granger dinked it to him, and I think Carter headed it down or something. And then it was the first leg in the playoffs. We drew 1-1. I won't say who got their equaliser, but he got a volley
against Millwall. That was
yeah. No, I loved watching him play, and you know, and Williamson's giving me that sort of similar. I'm not saying he's as good yet, but he's giving me them sort of feelings. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see him play today. And Stansfield, I love watching Stansfield though. His work rate, I know he scores a lot of goals, but his work rate is phenomenal, isn't it? Stansfield, he covers every blade of grass.
Do you know what? It strikes me though. This season we seem to have ideas. It's not predictable, is it? You know, watching how we move and how we do little triangles and stuff. We just got different ideas to break teams down. It's so good.
Yeah. It was good. It was good to see Barry Fry back as well, wasn't it? Again.
Yeah, it was.
So
and Sir Alex was there, wasn't
he? Yeah. There as well. Yeah.
Actually, there's a question for our listeners and ourselves on here. You know, do you think we've got another manager in the likes and the ilk of Barry Fry that returns to the club, but he's still loved by fans? Can you name another one?
Ooh.
The only other ones would have been the only other two that it could have been and went to them up the road, didn't they? So that's what's kind of spoilt it for him. But apart from that, no. I mean, Alex McLeish would have been worse, wouldn't he, if he hadn't gone there? And the same goes for Bruce as well, I'm going to say. Possibly we would have loved Bruce more, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I think Trevor Francis
would have been there.
Trevor Francis would have been a big one if he'd come back any time.
Yeah.
Well, he came back with Palace, didn't he? And it was a bit of a muted reception, wasn't it?
That was just after he went, but we did have the Trevor day against Nottingham Forest, didn't we? When he came
on? We did.
So Trevor. Everybody loves Trevor just as much, don't they, as Barry Fry, but in a different way because he's not like as lively as he is Baz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Baz is just a legend, and he's just hilarious. Such a funny bloke, and that was one of the best shows to be involved in as well when he came on.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think Steve Cottrell will get the same reaction, will he?
and saying that about Stevie Bruce, I mean, what a job he's doing at Blackpool since he's took over. And what do you think his reception will be like when he comes back, actually, to St Andrews?
I don't think...
Depends whether we win or not.
We're on the top 5 now. They're 5th, 6th, aren't they?
6, I think, aren't
they? Yeah.
No, I love these days as our manager. Them first sort of 3 or 4 years were brilliant, weren't they? Until Savage went, really. He never replaced Savage, did he? And then he just lost the plot with all his signings after that, really. The first 3 years were just wonderful, weren't they? From promotion to, I'm going to call it the Galacticos 20 years ago when we had all them, you know, star players that we were signing.
When Robbie went, who was the bloke he signed from Stoke to take his place? Who was
Palacios.
No.
Palacios.
He was with us before Stoke.
Oh, sorry, no. We sold him Stoke, didn't we?
He signed Mehdi Nafti to replace him, but he won't.
Nafti, that's his. No. Before him. He only played about 3 or 4 games.
Muzzy, is it?
No, is it less?
No.
Salif Diaye from Liverpool on loan. We had Salif Diaye from Liverpool on loan.
That's him. Oh, dear.
He was awful.
Shocking.
Yeah.
And Nicky Butt came and he didn't really do the job, did he, to replace Sav? But
that was the problem. We were never going to replace Savage, did they? They you know, we couldn't replace Mark Ward, then we got Savage, and then we couldn't replace Savage. I don't think we've ever replaced that type of midfielder, have we?
No.
Mind you, going on a bit of a tangent, but talking about Savage, I think it's the FA Cup game's coming up, and if Macclesfield go through, and we're in the draw for the first round, you could potentially have Bath managed by Jerry Gill, or Macclesfield with Robbie as head coach.
Yeah.
So potentially there could be a reunion on the cards.
Right. Claire, can you show us that picture
Yeah, let me get it off. I was only 9 years old.
Oh.
Can we see that, Chris? If we put it on the
Who? Is that the Who game?
I'm at the Villa Park in my Blues top taking pens.
Oh,
They're
you
about larger than life.
You're the one in the middle.
That's me. You can't really tell because of the
I'm a
light.
little-
But I'll send it. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, you might, if you can share it better on the actual stream, Chris. Then please.
Best day of my, honestly, one of the best days of my life. Had David James by me, and I got booed, and I had Giblin number 9, and Leicester City fans chanted my name, and I had to get out. I could only last 10 more minutes, and my dad was like, "We need to leave." It was great.
How did that come about, Claire?
I won a competition at school, and then it was just like a load of penalties. But yeah, just had to take penalties, so I won it. And they're like, "Yeah, you get to go to Villa Park." And then me and my dad were like, "Yeah, wear your blue shirt, you'll be fine." And I nearly chickened out, but I'm glad I didn't.
And who did you take penalties against?
Just a random goalkeeper. I was only 9 years old, so.
Did you score?
I don't think I did because they were tiny. These guys, you know, like the thin ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have me on the big screen. I think they thought I was a Leicester fan at first because I was wearing blue, and then then also they realised, so I got booed. It was great.
Yeah. So back onto current affairs then. So tomorrow night, Huddersfield at home. Are we making any changes to the team? I know we've obviously discussed the goalkeeper, but well, actually, we've already said what we would do. But what do we think Chris Davies will do? What do we think he'll do anything different to what we think?
He'll take Dykes out.
Yeah,
I think maybe for Dykes. Yeah,
depends on Hansen as well because he had a knock, didn't he?
Is that why he went up?
Hansen, I would.
I think he'll bring Allsop in.
If Hansen's out, do you think he'll start Keshi Anderson or Scott Wright?
Anderson, Wright's a good one to come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it, to have all this strength in depth? I mean, we haven't even seen Yokoyama on the bench for a bit, have we?
No. And he's another one who was jumping around celebrating. You know, it's good to see the players like that. And Jerky before the game, he was chatting to people by us. You know, players like that are actually there, physically there, just as excited as anyone. It's good to see.
Yeah. We've got Luke Harris to come back in the fold as well when he's fit.
Harris as well, yeah.
You know, Buchanan, Sanderson, all these players are, you know.
Laird,
yeah. And these were all regular starters last season, you know.
Mm.
But are they
going to... Buchanan got injured again.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, Mark. I was going to say what's nice as well is these sort of players, their social media is full of pictures of the game on Saturday, even though they played no part. You know, it's good to see. They're just loving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dan started today, didn't he, for the under-21s?
Yeah.
I can't see him getting back in at all.
I think they lost, didn't they? 2-1, was it? I saw.
2-1, yeah.
And the left back, what's his name? Kayla. He played as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Browne Kayla,
yeah.
Shall we move on to a lot of people's obsession on this chat box? The new shirt.
The new shirt. This one.
Yeah.
Probably the best. I'm not going to call it the away shirt because it's the third shirt, isn't it? But it's some shirt. It's just amazing. As soon as I saw it, I only usually get the home and away, but when I saw this one, I was like, I've got to get this one as well. So, yeah.
You know, for me, Paul, I think if it was the only thing I don't like is the collar. If it was a round collar, I think it would be. I
don't know. I like the V-neck. I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think we missed a trick by not getting enough sizes in because, I mean, the club shop on Saturday, the queue was like constant. It was great, but I managed to get mine, but I very rarely ever get another shirt, but it's black. So as soon as black happened, that was it.
Oh, I could see you on the Chris is sharing your photo properly now.
Which one are you, Claire? You're on the right.
You're the bright blonde haired one. You can tell it's me.
I mean, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
No. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Holly's in the middle.
She's a lot younger than me. No. I'd love to know where they all got to and if any of them actually went far, but
yeah, the pub.
The shirt is very nice. I'm very impressed with it. And it was great to see when I went to get mine as well. I saw Steve Portman in the car park as well. So it's good to see you, Steve, as well, mate. Top man. I know he's watching. I know you're watching, mate. So yeah, good to bump into you last week.
Can I do a quick shout out, Paul?
Yeah, of course you can.
Can I do a shout out to Helena and Dec? They had a baby girl a couple of weeks ago. So Alexia, welcome to the Blues family. And I can't wait for you to come and watch some games with us. It's going to be great. So I thought I'd put it out there.
Congratulations.
Love you all.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, there was a baby in front of me as well. First game, probably only about 18 months old. I want to say something like that, and that fast asleep. When we scored the 2 goals, it was fast asleep in his mother's arms.
Yeah, we had one next to us, 22 months old. He's been to 5 games and we won them all. And he fell asleep, like literally at like 2-2. And I was like, oh, good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we think then tomorrow night, do we think Chris, I know I'm not asking what we would do, but do we think Chris Davies will stick with Peacock Farrell or start Ryan Allsop instead?
Allsop.
You think he'll make the change, Mark, yeah?
He will, yeah. This is the time.
Okay. And then the back 4 picks itself, doesn't it? And Iwata and Paik pick themselves as well. I can't see Williamson not starting either. It's just then whether or not he goes for Dykes and, whether Hansen's fit, if he's took a knock, or whether he goes for Dykes or maybe Stansfield. And that's the team, isn't it, really? It picks itself now, pretty much. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm hoping that he brings Alfie May back in anyway from the start because, like I said, he's the division's top goal scorer for the last 3 years. So he'll only give us even more firepower. You all right there, Craig? You back now?
Yeah, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out.
I know, yeah.
Doing the hokey cokey tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, they call him hokey cokey.
I call him hokey Courtney, yeah.
That's a good one from
From you, Craig. I can't hear.
Can't even hear him.
Talking now, I can't hear him.
Yeah, that's all right.
He's on mute.
Yeah, he's trying to multitask, actually, I think.
Can you delete him?
Yeah.
Is he back?
He's doing the way end at the same time, I think. Oh, dear.
No, still can't hear you.
Stop talking about him. He's back now. He can hear us now.
No, he can't. He can't speak, though. Look.
Can you do that at the game tomorrow, Craig? Because all I can hear you is in my ear.
Thinking keep right on now, do you?
A lot of people are saying Leonard might come into the team tomorrow for Paik, possibly. People are saying. I can't see that happen. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't think Chris Davies would do that, personally.
Nah. Got no reason to, have they?
I think
unless he just rest somebody, doesn't he? If he thinks he needs a rest, or one of them need a rest, he's not going to change it for any other reason, is he?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey!
You're the only one cheering.
Yeah. I know. Who am I? I'll tell you, this laptop is getting ready to be launched, and that's all I'm saying. I just go on your point. I think Allsop will start tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. I think he deserved his opportunity. The only thing that worries me is if he makes a mistake, he's going to have people on his back, and that we don't want that. So you back whoever's in the team at the end of the day.
Yeah. Before you launch your laptop, Craig, I want you to talk about the women's team. 1-0 defeat at Durham, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah.
Was disappointing results. Got to say, firstly, what was really disappointing was the fact that it was due to be broadcast on YouTube and last minute, for whatever reason, was pulled. So only got a commentary on the game. But very disappointed, didn't get out the blocks. Had plenty of possession, but didn't have anything clinical up front. And that's what undone us. And ultimately just the single goal just after half time when we just hadn't got back into it and couldn't pull anything back. But it's the first defeat. This league is so open. It's daft, and it'll be one of those that we can't afford to lose. A couple more, otherwise, with the fact there's only one team going up, you write yourself out of it. But an opportunity this week to have the League Cup game, and some of the youngsters will get a bit of a run out. But I think it's ploughing forwards now to the next home game and work towards picking up the 3 points again and really getting back into the swing of things. But I can imagine Amy wouldn't have been very happy at all with the way that the ladies played. I wouldn't have wanted to be in that dressing room because I think Amy can be a bit of a fiery person, so I wouldn't have been on the back end of that backlash. But hopefully we'll see them coming back and back into the winning ways in the next league game.
Mm-hmm.
Did the new signing play? from the start. Is she Korean?
She did. And you know, I think it was more of, to be honest, it was the fact of the firepower, really, and having the opportunity, because they were creating chances. And like I say, possession-wise, we're in plenty of possession. I mean, I've got to say, the amount of time wasting that did take place from the Durham team was absolutely ridiculous, to the point that we ended up with just over 12 minutes of injury time. So, yeah, I mean, fair play to the referee for bringing that into the equation. But there had to be a few questions asked in regards to why it took so long for certain things to happen. Why was it every 5 minutes a player was going down with cramp? You know, if they're on the edge of the pitch, get them off, carry on playing, like we saw on Saturday, in fact. So, yeah, I say onwards. You know, it's only one loss. The world hasn't come to an end, and I'm sure they'll be back fighting and firing afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Some people are saying that Pate picked up Chris Davies said that Pate picked up a knock on Saturday. So if that
Cramp,
is
wasn't
Say again?
Wasn't it cramp?
Oh, was it? Okay. I don't know.
I heard cramp.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if he's not obviously 100% tomorrow, then I'd have every faith in Leonard coming in the team anyway and doing really well, because he's a quality player as well, isn't he? Yeah.
That's it.
Can we talk about the buses?
Buses, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, the first time it ran, wasn't it, the 1875?
Yeah, so my dad came on his own again, and he's coming on Tuesday. So
brilliant.
It's great to see him again, and my brothers are coming tomorrow, half a season ticket, hopefully. And he said that they were brilliant. He was back home in Bromsgrove by, I think, about 6:15. He managed to get the bus. There's one thing, though, that obviously at the moment we're playing against some of these teams that we haven't got a rivalry with. It's if, you know, are they just for home fans or away fans allowed? But my dad had a lovely chat with some Posh fans as well. So they seem to have gone really well, and it seemed to go without hiccup. So well done, Blues, and keep it going, especially as you put more buses on because of the, you know, the reception that they received. So let's keep it going. And it's really nice to see buses with 1875 and St Andrews on there. So well done. It all went without hiccups. So let's hope it continues.
What's the route? Sorry, Mark. What's the route?
I think it goes down. It goes quite far. I think at one point my dad was like, "We're down the Stratford Road," so I don't know where they were going. But they literally drop you off by New Street, and I think, you know, for a lot of people, a lot of middle-aged people were on that and older, so it's going to help everybody really. So I think it was great. I've heard really good things.
So the pickup starts just by New Street Station. There are some questions. Yeah, Smallbrook Queensway. And there's a few questions still to be answered, I think, in regards to it, because it was initially advertised as a pickup on Smallbrook Queensway and then a pickup at Moore Street before it made its way to St Andrews. I don't believe it picked up at Moore Street. So, you know, maybe a few things to learn from there. But nothing but positives on a day where there were numerous cancellations in the trains. And actually, you know, with cancellations and, unfortunately, the behaviour of some fans at the last game, it resulted in Bawdsley actually being closed. So that bus service helped no end to get people to and from the ground into the train station. So, yeah, and it's running again tomorrow. You know, every single home game it'll be running. So it'll be good to see what happens. But all really positive, Claire. I think some of the feedback we had was just, you know, it was great. What a few people have mentioned the fact that you get on the bus and everybody's standing up downstairs and there's still seats upstairs. I will say I did pass one of the buses and that exactly was the case. So, you know, to anybody that's using them, make sure we take advantage of the seating, make it, you know, as comfortable as possible for people. But no, it seemed to go really well. And off St Andrews Road at the end, the only downside, I think, was the traffic. But it can't do anything, you know. A bus is the same as a car; it's going to get trapped. So
what's needed?
Do they close down by the McDonald's Island, or do they still run it? Because every other club that I've been away games, they literally close like all the main roads to get people out, which I'm surprised that we haven't started to try and do. Really, I know that people need to get out but I'm surprised they don't close it to try and get the football traffic away.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange one, actually, because, we closed the main strip coming down from the stadium, but as soon as you get to the island, everything's open again. And, of course, when you've got all these thousands of fans crossing the road as well, it just becomes a bottleneck. And it doesn't happen just one side, it's both. So it does need looking at. And I'm sure, as part of the infrastructure of any new stadium, this is a huge topic of conversation. And one that I know, people think the club aren't doing something, but rest assured, and Claire will back me up here, that the feedback that comes in to all of the groups is listened to by the club. So the buses, first of all, is following on from feedback of people saying it's a long walk, it's tough for kids. How can we get to and from the stadium? So that's been introduced. There's stuff going on with the trains, which I'm sure they will get round to resolving. But also, there are things completely out of our hands. So, if a bus driver or a train driver's ill, we can't do anything about that. A service is going to be cancelled. So,
sorry, Craig. Steve Portman's just made me laugh, and I'll be exactly the same. He just said, point the service for me because we go past St Andrews to catch it.
It's so true.
And I'll be exactly the same, yeah. Reminds me of Trigger on Only Fools and Horses, that does. Oh, dear.
But, there's lots of other stuff still to come as well, I think.
Sorry, I was going to put in. When you get on the bus, do you have to show like a match ticket or anything, or is it literally?
You do.
I was going to say your season ticket or whatever. Or...
Yeah, I know like places like Brighton when I've been before and things like that. Like there are so many clubs that do it, which is really good that we are. But sometimes you can get all on like together. But I just think that going forward, it's about making sure, if we're playing against like Leeds or Millwall, for example, next season, do you want a load of Blues fans on it with them? Yeah, so it's just waiting to happen. So I just think at the moment it's okay if we haven't really got like any rivals as such, but it's just making sure. But I've only heard good things, so I've passed that on straight away.
Yeah. Not changing the subject, but changing the subject slightly and sticking to buses. When we win the league, do you think we'll be allowed an open top bus parade?
Yeah,
100%. I hope so. We should have had one for the Carling Cup. We didn't get one, did we?
That's why I'm
pathetic celebration
with the St Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah,
I hope we do.
That celebration at St Andrews was absolutely pathetic.
It was awful. I remember Femi Martins had a mint coat on. It was just a washout, wasn't it? It was awful.
It was awful.
They'll have to do something, but I do agree. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Get promotion, get the open top bus all the way into the centre of Birmingham, and make sure actually that we celebrate in the city that we're named after, because it has to be done.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, another new thing as well for me was, and I don't know if everyone else is getting this around other areas of the stadium, but I usually walk into the gates in the car park and just go straight on into into the entrance where we go in and straight into my seat or whatever, or grab a drink. But on Saturday, I was sort of ushered like to go left or right, and I was sort of where to go and what to do. And they haven't put anything out about that, have they, or give us any heads up? So you're going down, you're being sort of, and it's not a big problem at all. I'm not saying it is, but now we know. It would have just been nice to have had some idea that was going to happen before we went, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
And the extra security, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had to go. But that's all good, though. It's all good for reasons. And, they're not tapping us down anymore, are they? Patting us down before we go in the turnstiles. They're actually using scanners now, aren't they, on us? Before we... So, and that's better.
I had both, to be honest, Paul.
Yeah, well, that's
seriously. It was scan, and then a few yards further, there was the old touchdown and that.
Because you're coming from Coventry, mate, that's why.
You get a thump as well?
Well, just right by the turnstile, yeah.
Yeah, we'll arrange for some extra heavy mob this
on that.
And Mark Meredith, I believe you've not long now till you come over here, is it, mate?
Next week, mate. Next Wednesday.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah. We're all going to America.
I hope so.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then How do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Yeah, so how long are you here for?
About 13 days, I think, altogether. So till the 22nd. I land on the 10th and I get back 22nd.
And there's no home game, is there, while you're here? Potentially. I know we could be playing Cambridge, is it, on the 12th?
Should have been Cambridge, yeah, but they've obviously the internationals that'll be gone in the next couple of days, I would have thought. So, and if Robast, I'm not coming.
So what did you choose this particular time to come over?
We got family birthday parties and stuff at the same time, but I honestly didn't even think of the international break when I booked it. Okay. And then Mr. Courtney broke the news to me when I said I'm so excited to come over, and he went, "Oh yeah, that's international week." I thought, "Yeah, thanks, man."
Oh no,
appreciate that.
It's much better to keep it honest than to disappoint you when you arrive, though, Mark. I mean, it could be worse though. You could be coming from Coventry to every single game.
Yeah, I know.
The question is, when we all meet up, is he coming?
Do we have to let him?
I don't want him to be there, but like we're sharing it.
Who are we on about?
Mr. Meredith, you can hear us, don't you?
No.
You said you're going. I've been looking at places in Daventry, to be honest. Like we said.
Yeah. See you there at 4:00 Saturday afternoon.
Can I gauge people's thoughts? I mean, obviously, as we're getting more and more sellouts and we're seeing more and more things happening in and around the stadium, what are people's thoughts around the counter service, etc., that has been experienced inside the stadium?
So much better. I've never seen so many people behind. Literally, at one point, my drink was there, and I was like, "Oh, don't know what to do. Can't complain."
It's been, I've got to say, it's heads and tails above where it was from the start of the season, and they did promise that things would change, but it's absolutely superb now. I dare I say, I haven't really queued at half time, and yet people are going in, turning around, the drinks are ready. So they've learned, and again, this all comes from feedback that's passed direct to the club and goes to those people that work there. So long may those continue as well.
Mm-hmm. Question to everyone and our viewers as well: what's our goal of the season so far?
That's a toughie, that is.
Got involved.
I reckon it's Kayla in the cup against Charlton.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's got a good chance, isn't it?
I'd say Stansfield's header against Wrexham.
World class. I'd say Williamson's goal against Wickham, because if the goal wasn't there, it would have hit me right on the head. He was going bouncing right in the top. It was great.
Williamson's goal the weekend was really good. I mean, it's not always about the strike or the finish, is it? It's about the setup as well, and that's the reason why I think it becomes a bit of a struggle to name again one goal from this season.
And that's why I'm asking.
Watts scored 2 good ones as well, hasn't he?
I was going to say, Watts against Wrexham, for me, he's just a hell of a strike, wasn't it? I mean, the one at Rotherham was good as well, but the one against Wrexham edges it for me. And I also love Stansfield's goal against Rotherham.
His chip against Rotherham,
yeah.
You
we sport for choice on players, we sport for choice on goal of the season.
And it's not even October.
Are we talking about Blues here or what, man?
Right, isn't it?
Yeah.
The question is, how many people have started putting money aside already for the Players' Awards at the end of the season?
Yes, it'll be a good one this year. It's going to be a brilliant one this year.
The money's already been put aside because I am not missing that one.
No. Be tough.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the last one though, even though we just got relegated. It was still a good night, wasn't it?
Depressing though. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was just Jay Stansfield, and then they put a comedian on.
He was about as funny. He was about that comedian about as funny as a fart in a spacesuit, wasn't he?
Yeah, but we weren't in the mood to laugh though, were we? We were just being relegated, and then he was trying to make us laugh, and he was from London. Get some brummies there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a clue. He didn't have a clue what he was walking into at all.
No.
There, if the club are listening, can we just say, if there's a comedian, please, Jasper Carrott. Plain and simple, Mr. Blue Nose himself. And That's all we need.
And can
let's have local. Keep it local, not
Yeah,
company.
it's got to be people from Birmingham that are
I don't mind if they're not from Birmingham as long as they're funny. You know what I mean? But if they're not funny as well as not from Birmingham, then that's not a good combination, is it?
Yeah.
I've just got to say as well, nice to meet Nigel Mann at the weekend and finally catch up. So there's quite a few listeners at the weekend that came across to have a chat with a fair few of us. So,
Craig, are they all as ugly as you thought they'd be, or?
Well, do you know what I mean? It depends on what your class as a fan, because if you bring Mark Meredith into the equation, then it gets a little bit better. But as soon as you mention Robe, that's it. It's all downhill.
No,
so,
I met some lovely people on Saturday who came to say hello, and they treated me like a human being.
They were the police, weren't they? They had the handcuffs in order to take you away from that house you were burgling.
No, but to be fair, I did run into Grant from Aussie Blues. So if Grant's listening, it's nice to bump into you.
He's definitely not listening now. He's bumped into you, mate.
Yeah. He better be. We're going to catch up tomorrow evening. So Grant, I know, will be at the game again. Again, sad loss and reason for Grant being in the country with the loss of his daughter. So condolences from all of us. But it is again as well. You know, we also had the guys over from Leinster at the weekend. One of the supporters clubs that's made their visit over for their first game. We've got Dallas coming over in a couple of weeks, and the OSC is just going basically from strength to strength. You know, there's a lot of good things happening, and you know, give it a few weeks, and there'll be even more. So for people that listen, there's some negativity that was put out there around the supporters clubs to start off with. Honestly, I know I run one. And Mark, I know, you know, you running one as well. But all we've had is positives. And it's going to get better. You know, there's going to be more and more and more interaction. A lot of the feedback that's listened to by the club comes from games. After every game, there's a feedback form. That not only is listened to, but is fed back. So we get to hear what the club are doing. So there's great ideas that have been fed back from people that have been taken on board. If you're not a member, simple. bcfcosc.com. It costs a tenner for the season, but the perks that you get outweigh that tenner that you put in. So as a guide, stadium tours. Not everybody's click, I know, but going on one of those normally costs 15 quid. You get them as part of your package. Kids that join and families. Anybody that's under 16 that has a paying adult with them is put into draws. So we at Solihull have got really lucky, and tomorrow evening, one of the mascots will be from Solihull OSC, and it was great just to be able to deliver the news of you know, the fact that they've been successful. Flag bearers at games. Wednesday night, we've got people that have been successful to be flag bearers at the ladies' game in the League Cup. There are people that will be in the draw for the Cambridge game when that is rescheduled. So there's an awful lot that goes on. And let's not forget, there's things like the get-togethers that everybody does just to get people out of the house, meet new faces, have a general chat. And myself and Claire have been to a few now, where it's just nice to have people around. And it's great when you hear some of the stories, and when, you know, Tom Ross comes along and he's not afraid to tell us as it is and tell us the stories of old. They're brilliant. Other clubs have had the gaffer go, some of the directors. So the last meeting of one of the new clubs actually had Gary Cook, John Clarkey was there, Tom Ross was there, and Jeremy Dale. So the focus is very much on the fans. If you're not listening, you know, if you want to be listened to, come along to supporters groups, join them, come and reap some of the benefits. And even at the end of the season, you might get the opportunity to play on St Andrews yourself. So if anybody's interested, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to talk through it or guide you on the other groups.
So they've got a few hundred now, haven't they, Craig?
Yeah, so Solihull is officially the second biggest group with 225 members. And if you take into account Redditch Supporters Club, so Redditch Supporters Club's the biggest with 350. But, you know, Redditch was a already formed group that has just continued to expand, whereas everybody else is starting from scratch. So we've got Australia, we've got multiple pockets in America, we've got Canada, We've even got a group in Kenya. So, we've got a sports group in Kenya, Ireland, Spain, Gran Canaria, just to name a few. So it's just popping up all over the world. And it's great because everybody will get an opportunity to get together at some point as well. And it's just nice to bring everything together.
Craig, whose idea was this to run these OSCs? Because it's a good one.
The OSCs was actually, it was a brainchild, I think, of Gary Cook when he was first at Man City. And then when it came to the takeover and how they formed everything, they wanted to bring something together that allowed fans to speak. So they had the first sets of focus groups, the Blues Matters.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it was about how can we expand this even further? And it's what they want to do, ultimately, is have fans being together, travelling together, and supporting together. And that's exactly what we are getting. And like I say, did things go smoothly to start off with? No, we've all learned. But how much has changed since we've gone live is unreal. And the feedback is really, really, really positive. And new groups are cropping up all the time. So it's only going to get bigger. And that is the thing.
I think it's good as well for people that go the game on their own, because
Indeed.
you're going to make new friends and, you're going to make, obviously new Blues friends and, you're going to meet people on the match day and stuff, have a few drinks before the game and whatever, you know what I mean? So that's all good for people that go by.
There will be an official supporters bar for the clubs as well moving forwards. So all of this, again, is still to come. But the one key thing for me is it's a mixture of age groups that are joining. So we're not just talking, like some groups, they're 30s, 40s, 50s. My eldest member officially joined today, and he's 92.
Wow.
And my youngest is 18 months. Brilliant. And I know it sounds really daft, but to have that diversity, that is we've been there, we've seen it, we've done it. And then you've got we're just starting that journey and we're bringing them along. And as Claire said, to see the little one next to us on the stand the weekend, we wouldn't have seen that in the past. We would not have seen it. And that's all down to the really hard work that is taking place at the club. And I think, there's more to come. There's stuff happening tomorrow. And, there will be changes occurring and things being open tomorrow. So there's a lot of things still to come out of this club. And I tell you what, it's only getting bigger. And like I say, even if you're a member for a season, come and see what it's like. Join the OSCs. Come and have a chinwag. Come and join us for a drink. And when we get some guests there, they've been very open. They've answered everything that's been put forward. And I still think there's more to come.
Yeah, Meredith, how many you got in yours over there?
Me?
Just you.
Let's work, Mark. Let's work.
Seriously, I'm doing it. No, I think we got like 9 now. That's all right now. We're still.
I'm Blue Noses in Texas, yeah?
Yeah, we got a couple there in Austin and a couple in Houston. So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to sign you guys up as well. Just.
Is 13 days long enough to get your proper full broad Brummy accent back as well?
I hope so. I'm working on it.
Start practicing.
Mm-hmm. All right,
go back and watch a few of them YouTube videos, Mark. I mean, there was some guy with really long hair showing people around St Andrews on. I think it was a kids' news round TV program I saw. So,
I'm going to say it's not 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock.
It is 8 o'clock, and that has flown by yet again.
I haven't done predictions yet for tomorrow.
Quick prediction.
Yeah. I'll start us very quickly. So let's go around the room. I think we'll win 2-0 tomorrow. Claire?
2-1.
Rob?
2-1.
Alan?
3-0.
Well, that'll do. Meredith?
2-0.
Craig?
3-1.
Chris?
5-0.
Oh, you'll be sweating. You'll be sweating with a couple of minutes to go. If we look on 5 up after 70 minutes.
It's going to happen.
You better have a share.
We'll beat Charlton 3-1 as well.
Oh, yeah, Charlton on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Charlton on Saturday.
Yeah.
Charlton 2-0 for me on Saturday.
1-0.
2-1 again. 2-1.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so that's flown by yet again. Where does the time go? So we've been the Tilton Talk Show. I'm Paul Hipkiss. Thanks for watching. And it's good night from me, and it's good night from Claire Giblin.
Good night from me, and a good night from Craig Courtney.
Good night from me, and it'll be a good night for my laptop after this show. And over to the chairman.
Good night, everybody. Just before I go, I'd like to give a shout out to 3 people I met on Saturday. There was Paul, who's a returning Blues fan, with his son James, who was a new Blues fan. I met them in a certain burger bar opposite the ground. I'm not going to give the name out. And another chap I met in the bar, Roger, from Norway. So nice to speak to you, and it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from the road.
Oh, that's me then. Good night, everyone. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Good night, Coventry fan.
Hey?
Just saying, good night to Coventry fan.
You behave. You're not too big for a slap, Courtney.
Is it from you?
You're handing over to anyone else, Road?
A good night from me, and it's a good night from Chris Browne.
Oh, sorry, yeah, good night, Mark. Mark, yeah, he's saying good night, yeah.
And it's good night from me. Good night
from Chris too.
Only got one job, and he can't do that.
I know.
You're all right, Rob.
It's pressure, isn't it?
You have your moments, and it all ends in tears.
And all because you're covering up that Coventry City shirt.
It's not a Coventry top, look.
You know,
there you go.
Once. That's used once.
Is that real, Mark? Mark, is that real?
It certainly is.
You sure the tags didn't say Coventry?
It actually did. The story behind that.
Good night, everyone. Don't know why I said that in an accent.
Right.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong? A new podcast that explores the all-too-human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit, credible experts. Doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and Acast Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.